guys! So last time we talked to you about the things that you might get talked into when you're planning on living on the road. You got your SUV or your van and you're ready to live on the road, and then a lot of people, you'll see advertisements and things that say, hey, this is what you need. So last time we told you what you don't need. And in this video, we're going to talk about the complete opposite. We're going to let you know what you absolutely do need to live on the road. So again, Ramsey will go down the list and we'll let you guys know what we think, in our opinion, from our experience, things that you definitely want to consider taking with you. Enjoy.
Hey guys, so today is all about the must-haves of living on the road. And this is taking into consideration that we're guessing you probably already have a vehicle of some sort, and you probably already have clothes with you, and some sort of phone. So besides those, we'll get right into it here. So the first thing we think you must have is some sort of water filter. We have the Sawyer Mini. As we did a couple reviews on that. You can check them out. It works really well. It's really small, but it's definitely a must-have if you plan on drinking water ever or cooking with water. You can filter water anywhere you go. Then you don't have to be bringing giant jugs with you everywhere you go, or filling up in the city, or paying for it, or anything like that. So you can just bring this little filter with you and filter wherever you're at. And I think that one's only like $20. And they also just came out with a S series for Sawyer, which are a little more expensive, but they actually filter out more things like metals and other things of that nature. So if the water's more polluted, you can get a better filter for that. Just to go along with your water, you probably need some kind of like a platypus or a Nalgene bottle or something to put your water in, so you can actually store it longer, instead of just whatever the platypus that comes with the Sawyer Mini. So we have some platypuses that we bring with. We like those the best because they flatten out and don't take up any room when they don't have any water in them. So those work out really well. And the platypus brand, we have that, we've been getting those on Amazon. They're pretty cheap, couple, like $6-7. And we did a review on those also. Check that out. We had one for most of them for 3 years now and use them every day. And we've had one leak so far, and that's just because they collapse every day. So they have to stretch a lot, so they wear out sooner or later. But we actually just turned the one into our contaminated water one for the Sawyer filter, because the one that comes with the filter is actually kind of small. So we switched it out with that one because it can leak and it really doesn't matter. So that will get you your water. Now on to food is obviously the other main thing you're going to have. We have, it just depends on how you're planning on cooking your food. We have a cast iron. So if you plan on cooking with fire, you're going to need some sort of cast iron to cook on. And then on top of that, if you can't have a fire, or you're planning on being in the city or anything like that, you'll probably have to have some kind of a propane stove. So we have the 2-burner propane stove that works out really well. It doesn't take up a ton of room, but we use it every day. And then they also do make like the little backpacking stoves, which we did a review on too. So if you don't want such a big one, you can bring that, but it's going to be hard to cook any kind of like bigger meal on it. But if you don't have the money or don't have the space, you can get one of those. So either kind of stove works. The bigger one's obviously going to be a lot easier on you, and it just takes up a little bit more space. And obviously along with the stove will come your propane and propane accessories, of course. And then your plates and your silverware. And after that, you'll need some sort of dry food to bring with. We get a lot of it, like Walmart started selling like the big size canisters of dry food. You can get different kinds. You can get like a soup mix that works out really well because you don't really need a lot of food that goes in it. You can just get some carrots and some celery and potatoes and throw that in. It makes a nice soup, and it lasts a long time because it's dried. So you can get that. You can get dry berries. anything dehydrated, jerky, anything like that, because if you get stranded in the Arctic, then you're good to go because you have food and you have water. So you'll have of pretty much your survival gear in your car with you. So those are obviously the most basic needs that you're going to have to bring with you. So always have food and water with you. And then besides that stuff, we have like your emergency gear in case something actually happens. So you'll need your jack and a spare tire, obviously. So if you pop your tire, something like that, some kind of a headlamp or flashlight in case it's dark and something happens, you're going to need some sort of a light. Gloves and tarp, those are really good to have around. Very multifunctional. I use them pretty much all the time. Tarps are good for keeping rain off or for laying on or going under the tent or anything, and gloves were good for working around the campsite and like taking the cast iron off or playing with the dogs or moving sticks or doing anything. A small air compressor is always nice to have. They make little small ones now that plug into your cigarette lighter that are kind of a lifesaver if you're kind of in the middle of nowhere and need to pump up your tire if you run over a nail or anything like that. Those are pretty cheap too. And then on top of that, we'll probably say you'll need some spare blankets in case you get kind of stranded or you get stuck in a spot where it's cold. You'll need to have some warm blankets, and we usually follow the weather so it's warm, but we do have a couple like thick blankets that we put underneath our bed, and then we put our sheets over, like our fitted mattress pad and stuff like that, the waterproof mattress pad on top of it. So then if we ever do need it, it's under there, but it really doesn't take up any room because it's just a blanket. So every once in a while, if we end up in like the Arctic or in Flagstaff in the winter, it's still cold, so we can bust those out and still be warm. Or if the dogs need it, or if we put it in the tent, because when we put the tent up, it's just nice to have extra padding underneath there. So definitely bring some extra blankets with you. And then also if you're camping, bear spray. Bear spray is a necessity if you're going to be out at any campsite. Just not just for your protection, but for the bears' protection, because we don't need the bears getting hurt either. If you're in the city, it's not that big of a deal. So it's more for if you're going to be out in the wilderness or at any campgrounds. There seem to be a lot more bear activity out there now. So just a good thing to have around with you. So that was pretty much the whole list. We'll be coming out with a video a couple weeks probably for just like a recommended video, things that we recommend that you bring with you, because this was kind of just the must-haves that we really suggest that you pretty much have to have. So the next one will be more of a kind of like what we think our luxuries are. So we'll talk about some of the things that we bring with us that we recommend you bring with you also. So stay tuned for that. I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you liked it, make sure to click the like button and make sure to subscribe to see the rest of our videos. Thanks for watching, guys.